I want to get your overall thoughts on kind of some of the water treatment options out there that neutralize contaminants. For example, there's the product out there, I won't name the product, but it says it neutralizes and assists in reduction of over 250 contaminants. It reduces lead, chlorine, fluoride, and 99% of industrial chemicals and 99% of pharmaceuticals. It also remineralizes, it adds in like calcium, phosphorus, potassium. So I think there are numerous products out there that do something like this. Generally, are these products something that you recommend or recommend that you avoid, that people avoid, or what?
Yeah, so there's sort of two categories of products I can think of. There's filtration products, and then there's like additives. Generally, with any kind of filtration, my recommendation is take a water test before the filter, install the filter, take a water test after the filter. Obviously, it's not showing everything. Definitely not pharmaceuticals and hormones and chloramine and stuff like that. But if you see the numbers decrease of the things you are testing for, then you know the filter's working. And if these things don't decrease, well, I could bet you they're not taking anything else out either. So there's a lot of filters that don't work, and there's a really simple solution. You just test before and after and determine if your filter's working. I do think filters work. I think some of them are extremely effective, and some of them are not very effective, and there's a whole spectrum, and usually that's correlated with the price of the filter. So in general, I believe in filters. I don't believe in additives, like things you add to the water that tie up. Because here's what happens. Similar to what I was explaining with sodium, that water goes into the soil, and it may tie up things so it's not plant available, or it's, sort of enclosed in a molecule, and so the microbes in the soil and the plants can't access that thing. But over time, those degrade. And biology, there's a whole cycling process that happens in the soil. So if you put an ion of lead in the soil, well, it may be, complexed or chelated somehow, but over time, eventually that's going to become available because it's going to cycle into availability and out of availability 1,000 times. And so when it comes to heavy metals and really anything, in my opinion, tying it up is a short-term solution, but long-term, you're not solving anything. And so you really just want to avoid the addition of heavy metals to begin with, because they're gonna just like sodium, they're gonna accumulate as the water evaporates, and they stay. And just because they're tied up now doesn't mean they're going to be tied up later. Nothing is permanent.
Okay. Yeah. The product I was mentioning is, in your definition, an additive. It's a liquid bottle that you would add to your liquid.
That seems fishy to me. I mean, it's probably like a carbon-based thing. And then if it's not carbon-based, it's like definitely not organic, and you might be creating other contamination issues, like chelates aren't the kindest thing either, synthetic chelates. So I don't like those. I would not recommend that. There's a lot, unfortunately, in the world of water, there's sort of like a lot of snake oil. And there's a lot of things that I don't even want to call them snake oil. I just want to say like they're unproven or they're sort of questionable. And for some reason, all the way from like structured water to magnified and electrified water, there's just like this whole rabbit hole of water. I've gone down it, unfortunately, and gotten sold on things, and then had to sort of come back out and realize like, wait, what am I doing? Like, I should stop obsessing about the quality of water. I haven't seen any improvements in crop health and yield. If you are going to invest in something you're not sure about, or that you think could be, kind of bogus, what I always recommend is do a split test. So like, if possible, break your farm, your garden, your grow in half, and do no treatment on half and do the treatment on the other half, and just observe if you see a difference. Like, make the results speak for themselves. I think every product should have to prove itself. So that's often difficult with water because you're installing something and that's the source of your water. So how are you going to go back and forth? But in general, that's the concept I think all growers should always be thinking about. Is like, if you're going to invest money, try to figure out a way to prove it to yourself that it's going to work.
This clip is brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrow at 15 to save on any of their products.